quite late in the evening and I've had a super busy day, but I really wanted to show you these items. Now, I've been like looking around for some kind of like car boot sale challenge because I am absolutely in love with car boot sales. Only in the past kind of month have I sort of rediscovered the joys of car boot sales and how you can get some amazing things for really cheap. Now, usually when I go to car boot sales, I go with the £1 or under rule. So I will only buy anything if it is under £1 or it costs £1. But if it costs more than £1, I will either ask them to lower the price or I will just leave the item altogether. So I thought I would kind of make a little personal challenge to see how much I could get for £1.50. The reason I didn't stick to £1 is because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to find, and if there was one really cool item that was just £1, it wouldn't be much of a video. But I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things for my £1.50. So I'm going to start with my pumpkin related item because I'm sure some of you are really getting into that withdrawal stage from Halloween and it's so close yet so far away. So I found this little pumpkin tea light. Now this is quite similar to the ones that they sell in Poundland around Halloween. It is ceramic and it is really nicely made. But this one seems to be handmade, so it's even more amazing that I got this for so cheap. He has an orange glaze which kind of has this striped pattern in it which gives it a really nice effect. He has a very detailed little stalk coming out of the top of him, which is green, and then he has this hole in the back for putting your tea light in. He has a white bottom and on his bottom it says from Slindon Pottery. I'm not quite sure where this is, but it sounds pretty fancy and I'm sure this probably costs quite a lot to buy new. Usually I like my pumpkins to have a little bit more of a scary kind of jagged smile to them, but this guy's pretty happy and pretty cute, and I haven't got a pumpkin that kind of looks this pleased. I'm really pleased with this and it goes fantastically with my pumpkin collection. Now, on the subject of holidays, I got something which I thought would be an amazing Christmas decoration, and it is this little black dark angel. Now, I was drawn to her mainly because of her super like gothic clothing, but since buying her and having a little bit of a closer inspection, I absolutely adore her hair. So she's got lovely black hair and then it kind of really nicely blends into blue. I used to have a hairstyle very similar to this, which is why I was so drawn to it. Her wings are amazingly detailed and she has the cutest little face. She has a very Lolita look to her and her dress sense with these cute little hearts going around the bottom of her dress. But right in the middle of her bow on her chest, she has a little skull, so she still has that kind of gothic look to her. And I think she's so pretty. She will look so nice hanging on top of my Christmas tree. Now there's no information on this angel as to where she comes from, but she is amazingly cute and I really wanted to buy her when I saw her. I'm not like the biggest fan of angels, but I absolutely love fairies and she did remind me of fairies. So on the subject of fairies, I got a Nemesis Now figurine. I know that Nemesis Now aren't the most expensive site, but they are still a little bit pricey, and I got this amazing fairy. You may be wondering how I managed to snag this along with the other 7 items for £1.50, and that's because I got this lovely one for free. Now when I went, it was super windy and she was sat on her table and sadly she fell over and her wings fell off, so she was effectively broken and could no longer be sold. So after talking to the lady about it, because I saw that she was kind of laying on the side with her, I asked her like, how much is that, and she said just have it for free, because I was already buying one other thing from her. So she said have it for free, I can't sell it, it's broken. I just got home and the wings just glued on so easily. Now I probably would have bought this fairy anyway because I think she's absolutely gorgeous and I just love all the detail that's within this piece. She has this kind of black but with a purple tinge kind of hair to her, which kind of goes along with the rest of her outfit. She has these gorgeous really large purple wings and she's wearing an absolute divine outfit. She has this long purple dress on which has this really nice detailed slit down the side, and they've even kind of embellished this with tiny little glittery gems. And she has these red gloves which match with her little red dragon. This was another reason why I absolutely loved her, because of course I have a little pet dragon and I just thought it was so cute. She has lovely elegant feet, and then I just love the fact that she was sat on a kind of like autumny just boulder pile, which I just really liked. I really liked all the little leaves and all the detail within her. Absolutely gorgeous, and as you can see you can't even tell that the wings fell off. There's a little bit of shine there where the glue is, but that's right at the back anyway. Do imagine that you kind of have her somewhat sideways. You can really not even tell, and it's just an example of something that someone would have thrown away just because it was broken. Now on the bottom it has a number 3485. I don't know if that means anything to any of you, but it also says Nemesis Now, which I know is quite a well-known brand for various like gothic items. I'm so pleased with this, and it was like literally one of my favourite finds for the whole car boot sale. I just absolutely love her, and now that I know that Nemesis Now makes such lovely detailed pieces, I probably will go back and maybe pay full price for one. Maybe I'll look on eBay first. Now what I was buying from the lady who gave me that for free was another fairy item, and this is a little hanging piece. You can see this still has a label on it, so it is absolutely completely new. It does also have a sticker on here that says that it's also from Nemesis Now, so the same make as the previous piece. So this is a gorgeous little fairy, and she's sitting on a crescent moon. I love that it's got such a nice like sort of purple aesthetic to it. I really love it when they use these light blues and purples. It's not really a colour or a style that I would wear. It's something that I love to kind of decorate in. I think it's such a dreamy, nice look, and it goes so well with black. She has kind of metal wings rather than the other one who had plastic wings, and her wings can sort of be bent and moulded as you want them. When I got them, her wings are like full on open, and I just felt they looked nicer, slightly pressed back against the moon. This fairy is kind of looking off up to space at the stars, and she has really gorgeous brown hair and little pixie ears, wearing a kind of like grey blacky purple dress, which I'd absolutely love to own, and some really cute little stripy socks, and of course she has little spiky toes. An element which I like but I feel like they could have done better is this tiny little butterfly tattoo. I can understand why they've done it, and I think it looks so cute, but it just doesn't quite fit in, I don't feel. Even saying that, I got this so cheap. I think I paid 20p for this, and it is absolutely beautiful, and she is actually called, from her little tag, she's called a dream fairy. So according to the tag, you are meant to hang her above your bed, and she has a magical power which will ensure that all of your dreams remain happy. So we're halfway through the 8 items. Now the next item I got is rather silly, and I got this mainly because I'm a little bit on a dragon hype from the dragon fairy. But I got this funny looking dragon sculpture. For some reason it just reminded me of Titanic. It makes me like one of your French girls. This dragon just looks so cheeky, and I just love the way he's sitting with his like behind his neck and one hand on his stomach, and he's just like kind of lying down looking so relaxed and so chilled. His tail is all kind of curled up here, and he's got these lovely wings on the back. I also like the fact that he's kind of has this sort of like fish like ears, kind of Mohican going all the way from the bottom of his spine to the top of his head. A very classic colour to him, using the yellow and the green, but his Mohican's in more of like a corally pink colour, which I feel is slightly weird, but I'm sure that at one point this was possibly red, and maybe he's been sat in a window or something. I think it looks good still, and you don't really see it when he's sat there. He does have such a cheeky mouth, and again this is such a detailed little piece. He doesn't have a stick or anything telling him where he's from, but I'm sure you could probably find this if you were to search dragon ornaments, or even in a car boot sale, because you do see loads of these weird little ornaments. I love this little guy. I was so pleased when I found him, and I'm going to put him probably on my dragon tank because my dragon is quite sassy also. Now we couldn't have a haunted bat video without having a bat related item, so I pretty much started hyperventilating when I saw this. I went up to a lady and I was just browsing her table, and she said, "Ooh, I like your purse," because I have the band purse with all the bats flying on it. And then she went, "Ooh, I like your jumper," because I was wearing the Too Fast hoodie that has the little bat and the coffin here. And then she went, "Ooh, I like your necklaces," because I was obviously wearing some bat necklaces. So she said, "Wait there," and she went to her car and she pulled this out the back, and this was something like tiny bit broken, which you can hardly even notice, so I think she just put this in the bin pile. Anyway, I got this so cheap because of that, and I am so pleased with it. I'm sure this is for like incense or something, but I'm probably going to keep it for putting like little knickknacks like rings, or maybe even like nail varnish pots. Actually meant to look like a kind of stone piece, but I can tell you now it's quite, I mean, it does have some weight to it, but it is actually like a hollow plastic. Now, the main man is this little bat who is sitting on the rock, and he's kind of got his wing wrapped around this little gravestone at the back. As you can see, that's just where it is slightly broken at the top. You can hardly even notice it when looking at this piece, and if anything it makes it look almost more like a old statue. I'm thinking of just filling that in with a tiny bit of sort of like grey polymer clay, because as you can see it is slightly hollow, but really when it's on show you can't tell at all. All of this detail here is meant to look like it's in the rocks, and I think it's a really interesting piece. So the next thing I got was this black rock, and you may be wondering why on earth I got a black rock. And that's because although it was laid out like this on the table, when I poked it, it kind of all moved apart, and inside this gorgeous like crystally cave. Now this is probably not a piece that I'd really work with crystal wise. I think this is more of like a show piece because it is so pretty, as you can tell. It's just such an amazing colour, and I can't tell if this is natural or not. It may have been dyed, but either way I thought that this was worth spending so little money on, and it would definitely be a good little display piece. Now the last thing I got, which is the biggest thing I bought, is something which again was broken. Now this is just like the biggest advice I have for anyone who's car boot sailing, is that one, if you see something that's broken and you think, it looks like they're throwing that away, definitely go in for the kill and see if you can get it for free. Secondly, if you see something that they are selling that is broken and then they offer you a price that really isn't reasonable, then point out that it's broken and you'll probably get a few pounds off. And thirdly, if they are selling something that is broken, definitely like pick them up on it and see if you can get it even cheaper, just because some things you really use if they are broken. For example, if it is a bucket and it has a hole in it, it can no longer do bucket things, and therefore it loses its functionality, which means that therefore you should be getting an even cheaper price. Anyway, all of that blabbering was on a massive lead up to this little pot that I got. I don't know what it is about this, it's not extremely like gothic or anything, but I was so drawn to it. I saw it and I was like, I need this pot. Now, I'm going to show you this and see if you can see where it's broken, because I sure as hell couldn't see where it was broken. It wasn't until I was talking to my sister that she pointed this out. Now when I open it, you probably will see where it is broken. Inside it has a glass coating all the way through it, and as you can see it is a tiny whiny bit chipped there, and that gives it a little bit of a hole in the design. But when it is actually on there, you no longer see it because you just see straight through to the blue on the bottom. Now I pointed this out to this lady, and because this is meant to be some kind of storage pot device, I kind of said, well, it's no longer airtight and blah 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 blah, and I just kept blabbering on until she gave it a really cheap price. And I still think this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. It's quite a heavy, big piece. It, again, doesn't have a sticker on it, but it looks like it's probably from some kind of like different country, like India or something along those lines. Maybe bought from a market, but it's absolutely amazingly made. And as you can probably tell from me resting it on my shoulder, it is incredibly heavy. The inside is completely lined with glass, and so is the lid, as I showed you, and then the outer part is a really thick, heavy metal. I really liked this kind of material. It does show up slightly lighter on camera. It is kind of quite a sort of matte black in real life, but it does have these kind of orange speckly colours on it, which I think is just really interesting to look at. It's definitely not like the kind of usual thing that you see in shops, and it kind of has like a fiery kind of volcano look to it. I'm not sure what it reminded me of or why I was so drawn to it, but I just thought it looked so cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I have really recently done a car boot sale video, but I thought this one was a little bit different and a little bit more fun because it was a challenge. One of the reasons why I thought of this challenge is because I think that you guys should definitely go out and go to a car boot sale and see what you can pick up. Honestly, as a student now who has absolutely zero money, going to a car boot sale with £1.50 and coming back with as many items as you can is definitely a very sort of therapeutic and rewarding thing. Now I just want to state that I went to a car boot sale in the rain. Now I have been to many car boot sales over this past month and they've all been super sunny and really nice, and there's been literally hundreds of people selling their unwanted things. Now I went when it was raining and there was only about 3 rows of people selling stuff, so that's what, about 20 cars, and even in that small proportion of people I found some Halloween bits, some gothic bits, some fantasy bits, a crystal item, and also some weird pot, which I liked the look of. So this is me challenging you guys to go out and see what you can get from a car boot sale. Either leave down in the comments what you got for £1.50, or even make a video so that other people can see what amazing things you found, and definitely leave it down in the comments. Because I don't know about you, but I would love to see what you guys could find. Overall, I think it's a fun little challenge to do. It definitely got me thinking about possibly that I have been spending too much money on things which I could have got cheaper other places. I hope that you have had a lovely week. If it's still sunny where you are, I hope you're enjoying the shade, and I will see you next time. Bye!